The GH recap for May 2, 2023, has Willow learning more than she ever wanted to know. The General Hospital recap features dying newlywed Willow Tait, learning what her new husband has been up to for a year. In this episode, Michael showed Willow a video of the pikeman shipment and then gave her more surprises. Dex also told Joss what went down in the warehouse after they had sex. At the hospital, Robert had to cover with Elizabeth as Scott called the WSB about Victor's plans. Over in Greenland, Valentin became a test subject while Curtis managed to find Spencer and Trina now. Let's dig a little deeper into the details. Michael, Chad Duell, and dying Willow settled in for their quiet wedding night in the living room. But Michael had one last thing he had to do. He brought Willow outside with her bouquet and then carried her over the threshold. The newlyweds talked about their future and what Sonny, Maurice Bernard, did for Carly, Laura Wright. Michael still blamed Ned Wally Kurth for turning his mother in, as Willow reminded Michael that Sonny has been supportive of her and is still supportive of Michael. She just wanted his family to get along and hoped that could happen if she did happen to die. She just wanted Michael and Sonny to get along again. So, Michael decided to show Willow the video of Sonny making the pikeman deal so she could see what a mean and horrible augur Sonny really is. Willow was confused and surprised, so Michael explained what he had been doing for the last year. The shock of it all caused Willow to pass out. Jocelyn, Eden McCoy, returned to her dorm after the wedding and the incident with her mother and thought about Trina, but only in terms of what Spencer said about Dex, even Hofer. Finally, she wondered what could be going on with her best friend until Dex arrived at the door. They quickly fell into bed, and in their post-sex state, Jocelyn told Dex all about the wedding and what happened to Carly once the ceremony was over. Despite the fact that Drew, Cameron Matheson, is looking for all of Victor's hostages, like Trina, Jocelyn was only thinking about Drew rescuing Willow. She told Dex it was Sonny who made sure the SEC didn't know that Drew was heading to Greenland. Dex told her that he finally had the goods on Sonny, and Jocelyn was all for bringing him to justice because he broke the law. Carly also broke the law, but Jocelyn didn't want to acknowledge that fact. Jocelyn started feeling a bit of guilt over what was going to happen to Sonny when the feds got wind of what he was doing, but she was more worried that Dex would go down with his fake boss. Valentine, James Patrick Stewart, and Victor, Charles Shaughnessy, came face to face in the Elder Cassadine's underground humanity-destroying bunker. Victor demanded to know who he was on the island with, but Valentin wasn't saying. Liesl, Kathleen Gaddy, just wanted to know how Willow Caitlin McMullen was and breathed a sigh of relief to know she was still alive. Victor assured his son that Spencer, Nicholas Alexander Chavez, and Trina, Tabiana Ali, were also still alive before he told a horrified Valentine of his plan to save the world by killing off 80% of humanity. Victor went on to explain climate change to Valentine and pointed out that 80% of Earth's problems are caused by man, and his pathogen would wipe out 80% of mankind. Valentine told Victor he would be his loyal son again if Victor just called off his crazy plan and hired sane scientists to save the planet without killing so many people. Victor didn't want to hear of it and said he would never be foolish enough to trust Valentine again. So, Valentine then offered to be Victor's test subject as long as he set his other hostages free. That was another no-go for Victor, as he ordered his goons to drag Valentine away to be an unwilling guinea pig. Liesl was tasked with injecting him with the pathogen, but made one last plea to Victor, telling him this was his son. Victor said he wasn't his son anymore, so Liesl gave Valentine the shot. Not long after, Valentine's nose started bleeding. Victor's goons kept watch over Spencer and Trina on a docked haunted star, but Spencer did his best to break free by attacking the men. They didn't take too kindly to that, so they tried to beat him. Suddenly, Curtis, Donald Turner, appeared to stop them but was undercover as another goon. Spencer knew why Curtis was there and said he was just worried about Trina and mentioned where her room was. When a real goon became suspicious of fake goon Curtis, Spencer caused another distraction so Curtis could go find Trina. Curtis made it to Trina's room and knocked out the guard. Trina was relieved and thrilled to see Curtis appear. Trina apologized for getting into this mess and then told Curtis how hard it would be to find Spencer and Ace. Curtis wanted to get her off the boat first, but she refused to leave without Spencer. As the goons gave Spencer a good beating, Trina ran into the dining room and demanded they stop. Back in Port Charles, Robert, Tristan Rogers, spent his time standing guard over a sleeping Scott, Kin Shriner, while he tried to reach Diane, Carolyn Hennessy, Elizabeth, Rebecca Herbst, then knocked on the hospital room door to see Anna, Finola Hughes, who had already made a beeline for Greenland with Holly. Robert tried to head Liz off at the pass, and she was suspicious as to why. She didn't believe any of Robert's excuses for why she couldn't see Anna. Liz knew Robert wouldn't try to stop her from seeing Anna for no good reason, and she agreed to give him a little bit of time before she entered the room. On the other side of the door, Scott finally woke up and called the WSB. He apparently managed to get through quickly because an agent soon appeared and burst into Anna's room, allowing Elizabeth to finally see why Robert was stalling her. After Scott started rambling about Victor destroying the world, Robert called Scott an idiot and told him he just managed to kill the woman he loved. Finally, Portia, Brooke Kerr, tried to keep herself distracted by work, but all she could think about was Trina. Marshall, Robert Gossett, soon popped in so they could worry about Trina together and was surprised to hear that Trina called, and Curtis went off to rescue his maybe daughter.